Hi guys, so this video is inspired, is the word I'd like to use, by many people moving through their awakening process, and that awakening process having been triggered through a plant medicine experience. So and I guess the essence of the video is speaking to those people who want to move into shamanic practice or become a shaman, and I'm specifically using the word, I actually like to stay away from the word shaman because I think it has been overused at this point in time, and possibly the frequency that it used to hold in the sacred context through lineage and deep process in a time long gone has sort of altered in this modern day, and it just seems to hold a different vibration. But at this point I'm specifically using it. Please know I will always very specifically use my words for teaching purposes. So know that. So I'm specifically using it at this point in time because it is in the field, and it is what I'm picking up, and how people want to, after their experiences, move into this work. And so this video is really about speaking to, first of all, I guess, post-ceremony integration. I have no doubt that people are receiving proper facilitation pre-ceremony, ceremony, and post-ceremony, where the guidelines are particular to post-ceremony. The guidelines are, please do not make any big decisions with regards to your life until you have moved through a fair enough integration time. And of course that fair enough integration time is up to you. It's subjective, and it's only you will know. And one of the teachings that I hope would have been received during your awakening process is that the choice is yours, and that you need to tap into your intuition and to discern when this point is that you feel grounded enough and stable enough to start making wise decisions for yourself. Obviously without disempowering yourself prior to that point in time, okay? Because sometimes we give a little bit too much energy to our practitioner or our healer or our facilitator. But those that are moving with their facilitation in integrity would, I have no doubt, share the information with you that it is not them that is healing you. It is the teachings that they are possibly giving you, as well as the teacher plants, and as well as a process of remembering, because of course we are not in linear time, meaning there cannot be a past. So you are really just remembering aspects of yourself consciously, and aligning this consciousness at that point in time. So the point I'm trying to make is to really step cautiously after plant ceremony experiences, and to take into consideration where you may be disempowering yourself by giving too much power to the process or the experience that you had. And again, they are powerful, spiritually enlightening experiences that of course shift and transform your life in the most profound ways. But when we take it easy and when we were just in central balance, okay, so mostly connected to the heart, and in an empowered, grounded state, we can see that was an experience, and not to give it too much power, and that in essence, again through your teachings, that it is all you, okay? So it's all a reflection of you, whatever it is you experience on that evening or through your awakening. So I guess this video is sort of speaking to the power struggle that you may be experiencing, or not so much struggle, but the enticing, you can tell I'm being cautious here, the enticing timeline of wanting to shift your entire reality, stop your job and start serving plant medicine, okay, and stepping into this work. So again, if this is absolutely on your path, and of course please bear in mind that each person has a different experience and a soul expression coming from that timeline that is non-linear, as I've said. But there is also something I need to mention here, and that's called spiritual bypassing. So it's sort of, spiritual bypassing is really speaking to those people that have stepped into this field, have been awakened and shook awake, and just experienced something so profound and huge that they then begin to think that, you know, all the other 3D work is unnecessary, and we can now, you know, take mushrooms and smoke DMT and be in this plant medicine world and space, and it's going to solve all our problems. And I would like to, in this video, remind you of the universal laws. And the universal laws pertain to all things and all dimensions. So if we are bypassing certain steps along our path, it will inevitably come back and whip you around to have a reflection moment and be in awareness of what is going on and the distortion that you may have created through this bypassing of certain steps. And those steps have always, or most of the time, got to do with grounding, centering, and balance, taking your time, integration, and embodiment. Okay, so, and the reason I say this is because it takes a certain amount of courage for a person to step onto this path, truly knowing that it is their path, from a space of purity, from a centered and grounded space, not from a space of wanting to rescue, not from a space of needing to bypass, just from a truly integrated space, or a space that is so intuitive that you are unable to ignore it. Okay, and again, the reason I say this is, again, it takes courage for someone like me, who sits with a big solar plexus, with a lot of courage, you know, with a huge sense of personal empowerment, etc., to move along this path. I've been doing it for some time now, but at the time, and perhaps I should do a video on how I stepped into this work at another time. But the point I'm trying to make is that as a white woman living in the city, I often get slack, you know, who are you? And it's precisely why I stay a word from the word shaman, because I would rather be viewed as a light worker, that being that is constantly in a space of integration and embodiment, understanding the metaphysical things that I understand. However, because I have done quite a bit of work with regards to my oversoul aspects, I do know that I have been and experienced in a timeline a shaman. I've always been a healer, or that, you know, sort of spiritual leader, etc. So what I'm trying to say is, unlock and unblock all that is you. Take time to do it, because that unlocking and unblocking requires an integration time, which requires a grounding, which requires centeredness, which requires purity, which requires discernment. So what I want to say is, again, just because you have had this mind-blowing experience, just because you have had or are able to consume and hold yourself on entheogens or psychotropic medicine, it does not mean necessarily that you are meant to go into this work. Again, I am not taking away from those that potentially would like to, and also know that I'm saying this and being completely authentic in the sense that I did not go through a formal training process, but there is a reason that I did that, and at the point in time, it was that I was very much working with the simplicity of vibration, meaning that everything stemmed from a space, or everything stems from either a space of love or fear, whether it be vibration or emotion. And so I was challenging myself at that point in time to make sure that I was aligning to a space of love in every action that I took, and knowing that within that space of love, that all that I needed and required would be unlocked within me, and that the universe would be working in my favor. The other point that I'm trying to make is, within the challenge of not having gone through formal training, I have courageously stepped into this, working slowly upon my own training path, with people along the way, unlocking and unblocking that which is the soul aspects of me that I need to integrate, and have been doing so beautifully. And of course, through the experiences that I've had, information comes, and of course I work with a lot of clients, so the information is continuous. And then of course it's grounding and integrating that with time. So again, I guess it's really just a message for those of you who have had ego-shattering and life-changing transformational experience on the plants. We, and I say it's a collective we, go amazing, amazing, amazing. We are so grateful that that has been your experience. Please don't bypass. Know that us on our essential path and our spiritual path, we still work hard. We just work more on a fifth dimensional model, and different things now become important to us. So know to move slowly, and that you don't necessarily have to become a shaman or a plant medicine facilitator to be on your ascension path. And that's the other point that I think is very important, is that, you know, there are many, many, many other ways to serve. So I think through again, your post-journey integration, finding practitioners or methodologies that are in alignment with the change that you are experiencing would be of great importance to you, where you can start to work on a strategy and really begin to highlight what it is that your blueprint is, what your purpose is, what you are here to do, and how you can serve in the best way. And again, it may not be in the shamanic practice. So yeah, I think that's really my message, is take time, be wise, come from a centered, pure heart space. Analyze the distortion. Do not be afraid to question and re-question and see where your ego is playing a role in the decisions that you need to make. And again, this is obviously, this video is specific to wanting to become a facilitator post an awakening, but of course the information applies to all decisions in your life. So it's going, where is their ego? So therefore the mind, the monkey mind sometimes, where is their ego in the decision that I'm making? Am I centered and balanced? Am I in my personal power? Or is it out of balance? Okay, so yeah, that's I think a lot of nice information there. I hope it sits with you. If you have any questions, please just pop them under the video. And again, I'm actually changing, you know, another thing that I'd like to mention here is I'm actually changing my format of ceremonies more to one-on-one experiences, because there is so much to go through and to move through, so much that I feel that quality over quantity is best at this point in time through the ascension process, so that people do not bypass. The group sessions, I will more than likely be creating retreats from now on, so there won't be one evening, because again, it's just such an overload of information. And you know, personally, I take this work very seriously, and I pride myself in the level of integrity that I work at, and I really love to teach. So I think I'll be moving group introductory sessions to retreats, where you have to be there for a minimum amount of days. One-on-one sessions also will be extended experiences, where we will include breathwork, etc., etc., to really start to analyze our state of being. And then group sessions at mastery level, meaning there has been a lot of self-worth and work done, none of that bypassing, and we're ready to move into higher activation points. So that's just a little bit on the future of what I'll be offering. Again, all of my details are below, so just check in with all of those links. I have not had time to get my website up and running just yet, so thank you for your patience. At this point in time, I'm just dealing with email. So yeah, awesome guys, lots of love to you all, and yeah, just stay in your pure centered space. And as I say in ceremony space, I dare you to smile, laugh, dance, love, and enjoy the sunshine. Cheers, bye.